Hello and welcome to the Hetero Podcast, brought to you by Anchor. I'm your host, Nathan CD, and today we are joined by my guest.
Tim, I guess you can call me Tim. Yeah, that works.
All right, Tim, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am same grade as Nathan. I'm a junior. Looking forward to try to become a junior if school year continues up. And yeah, I'm just hanging out, I guess.
All right. So what do you do, Tim? What's your agenda?
Well, I guess like my hobbies, I guess you can say. I'm very internet focused, I guess. A lot of YouTube videos, games, development. I like computer programming is high up on my list of stuff.
Me too.
Yeah, and then a little interesting thing is that I like my favorite sport. I play it all the time. Is hockey, ice hockey. So yeah.
All right. So we just finished school, and about 40 minutes ago,
About
40
40.
minutes ago, we just found out that the coronavirus has canceled school next week, so we
Or
won't be,
next week, yeah.
yeah, we will not be coming back to school next week, and also that also goes into our spring break, so we have 3 weeks without school.
3 weeks, no school. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your opinion on that?
My opinion, I guess. Um, I mean, I don't oppose it. I get safety. They want to keep everyone from spreading the pandemic, but I don't see how they should take our time out of this. I don't see the purpose behind it truly yet, because the infection hasn't grown towards our area specifically yet. But
Yeah, they have 8 cases in Riverside, I heard.
yeah, they do, and I think it's in the Coachella area over there, which I get. And so yeah, I mean, it's good to just keep everyone safe. So I don't oppose it, but
Yeah, I totally see they're totally just doing it for our own safety, but the problem is like you said, it hasn't really affected us yet.
yeah.
There are a few arguments saying we don't know, what if some people already do have the coronavirus, they just haven't been tested yet.
Well, yeah, because it takes a few days, maybe even a few weeks to symptoms start appearing. Which, yeah, and then by that time it could have already started spreading. Yeah, but they started slow, kinda. They knew of the potential threat it had, so they started canceling more and more events throughout the week,
Hmm.
which I got. I was like, okay, yeah, you don't want gatherings and potentially spread the disease, but you were canceling events, but leaving school is basically a large event on its own every single day, with just thousands of kids gathering around.
Yeah.
I mean, most kids, I would think, get sick from being in school with other kids that
Yeah.
have viruses and stuff. So I don't see why they would cancel, and then finally, as their last decision,
Oh, okay. So
make school.
you're saying you're surprised that they chose school to be their last resort or
Yeah,
their last
basically.
option to cancel. Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like they could have done this a bit earlier, or have this been their first option, because yeah, just recently track I know the track season's just been dwindling out, and they just barely started, so they're third or fourth race. Fourth
Well,
and
yeah, and then since like I mentioned earlier, I play ice hockey, and this weekend is like playoffs, right? Right before we go into the championships, and that's just wiped now. They just canceled
It's
that.
done.
It's just done.
Yeah. So tell us about your this whole hockey, and you drive out to Anaheim, and
So,
all that's done.
yeah, so for since these hockey season, if you don't know, it's a very long process. Lots of games. Every weekend you get like two or something. If you follow the NHL, the National Hockey League, which is also followed NBA and MLB and all that, all the other professional sports that have uh, basically postponed their entire seasons due to the coronavirus threat. Yeah, so it eventually got down to our lower level.
Mm-hmm.
So this long process that started around August, I would think, and we've just worked so hard to keep going through the whole season all the way till now, and they just,
Dumped it out.
yep, it's just
It's
gone.
down the
It's
drain,
nothing no more.
reduced to atoms.
Below, worse,
Worst.
lower, split it.
Yeah, that's really crazy. And
Hmm.
both of us were in computer science honor society at our school.
Yes, we are. We're leadership for that
Yeah,
club.
we are both officers, and we organized several events that we're going to do this year, and it's gone.
Yeah, basically, it's
Yeah,
just,
well, it's our decision, and I'm pretty
it
sure we're
is.
just assuming that,
Well, we just have to follow basically
yeah,
everyone else's examples.
if it follows through, but we don't want to waste anyone's time.
Nope.
We met like every other week to work on this thing called Ionite,
Hmm.
which for some viewers who don't know, we basically just promote computer science
Hmm.
and
Um,
expand,
Fun
yeah,
activities,
fun
just
activities.
expanding the knowledge to people that might be interested in computer science fields,
Hmm.
which will become like the new generation's job outputs, I
Exactly,
guess.
like it's a growing field, growing,
Very, very fast growing field, yeah.
yeah, and yeah, this coronavirus is just canceling a lot of,
Shutting,
shutting down a
shutting
lot of
everything
things.
down.
And there's this um I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it's very similar to Ebola that we had like in 2014, where there's that big scare in Africa, and how deadly it was. But I feel like the media really fueled that and made it so like everyone was really scared of
Yeah, that
Ebola.
you mentioned that, and now that it comes back to me, I do remember how in was that we were in middle school or something like that,
Hmm.
or maybe before. But yeah, then I think they had a few cases in the U.S. or something,
Hmm.
and everyone just feared that Ebola was like you get it and
Hmm.
you're dead, like it was the Black Plague or something.
Yeah,
And that's how the media is putting out the coronavirus, just like
and I
that.
feel like that's really really bad because like fear, I feel like they're just really exploiting this fear, and it's just really unnecessary fear,
Yeah, for media presence, it,
unnecessary
it's
panic.
it's great for them, but yeah, like we were watching that video earlier that you showed me with these people just
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
over
I
toilet
You know
paper.
what? Yeah. Why is that? Do you know why they're hoarding toilet paper? Because I went last week to get like a ton of toilet
Hmm.
paper, but I asked my mom about it. She's like, "Oh, we're just running low on toilet paper." So I was like, "Okay." But people are actually fighting and like starting like really big mobs.
Yeah, they're just like
It's like Black Friday, but every day, and it's for toilet paper instead of
toilet paper, hand
iPads.
sanitizer, and water bottles. That's
Yes.
it. It's Black Friday on those, and
Mm-hmm.
the market is taking advantage of that, increasing prices.
Mm-hmm.
But
$50 for like two bottles of hand sanitizer on Amazon.
on Amazon, yeah, I
$50.
was looking at that. It's just that's insane.
Yeah.
Like no one should have to be spending that much money just to stay safe.
Yeah.
But they are because of this mass panic that's kind of limiting markets. Like I know they a lot of stores have put bans like or not bans but limits on what you can buy
Mm-hmm.
just so that they don't cause fights and stuff. And
Yeah.
so I just don't think that society like needs that because right now with the actual pandemic, I get like it is a threat. If you have it, you need to quarantine yourself so you don't spread this disease that we don't have a like a vaccine for yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
Sorry, I just ate pizza.
just to try to help others out so that you don't and potentially put them in danger. I get all that, but the media is just blowing everything out of proportion and you're causing mass panic that's just getting people in worse positions than if you just told them, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have it, go to the doctor,
Yeah.
quarantine yourself, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like the media should promote more building confidence in its people instead
Hmm.
of striking so much fear in it.
Yeah, I think so too. They just like to kind of see us run around, I guess, but I don't see how that benefits them to just create this panic that's just causing everything to kind of shut down almost. Like with Ebola, that never, the media presence on that was high too, but since it wasn't as like common, I guess you could say, because the coronavirus is more
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like the flu. It's easy to spread around. So that just adds on to like the fear that yeah, you can get it, like one person has it and it just, you'll get it right away, and then they make it
Yeah.
seem as if, oh, that's it, you're just
Yeah.
gonna
But
die.
yeah, and but there are also some like actions that are also justified, like Italy's choice to just stop all international flights or
Yeah,
anyone
those.
coming into the country because they have at this time 15,000 people already affected by the coronavirus.
Yeah, and those cases like that are completely justified, I
Mhm.
think. Just, you don't want, because this disease spreads so easily, I guess you can say, by through contact with others that have it. And so I guess, yeah, that would be the best case scenario, to just shut it down and say, okay, stay home,
Mhm.
quarantine
Mhm.
yourself. Don't give it to other people because you're afraid that you have it.
Yeah.
And so I would get it, like if we had cases in our district, locally, if they were much closer. I mean, Riverside is local for us, I get that, but I feel like they were just waiting, trying to drag it out and see if someone would like get the disease
Mhm.
before they would actually do anything before it.
Yeah. Um so my mom, she's a nurse and she
Hmm.
works at the hospital, and she said there's like several suspects of the coronavirus. So
Hmm.
that's like it's really crazy.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
how it makes it seem insane, just how the disease is presented to people. You think like, oh, this is like just as bad as cancer or something,
Mhm.
and how common it is among people, and how common it's becoming with over 1,000 cases in the U.S.
Mhm.
now. It's just, it's making people fear like, yeah, this is gonna shut the world down
Mhm.
basically for who knows long.
Yeah. My film teacher, his name's Coach Long, and
Mm.
he really had this um I don't know what you call it, this ideology. He's just saying, um, the coronavirus has only affected 1 out of 27 people in the entire world right now. There's only like 2,000 cases in
Hmm.
America. Most of them are on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And he's just saying if it affects us, then it affects us. We'll just stop and just go home and stay home. And but if it doesn't, we keep calm. We'll keep doing what we're doing and not waste any time. And yeah, and he just really has that mindset of just keep doing the process and just
Yeah,
keep going.
well, I would think of it more as like, I guess like kind of like a Darwinism thing. Like
Hmm.
it's survival of the fittest basically.
Yeah.
If we don't have a known like vaccine, we can't cure this disease.
Hmm.
So you don't want to spread this around and take chances with other people
Hmm.
not being able to make it through this. But even though it only has like a 3% death rate, it's it's more likely that you'll take, like, you get it and you'll survive, and then you probably won't have to worry about it
Hmm.
because then your body already knows how to deal with this.
Hmm.
And so I don't see where this fear is developing from, because as soon as you get it, most likely with your 80% or higher chance of surviving it, without even getting any medical care, then it's just gone and you're fine again and you can go about your day. But
Yeah. So here's my plan to eradicate this coronavirus.
mm-hmm.
I say we take everybody that is vulnerable to this and will most likely die from it if we were to expose them to it. Lock them up in our closets and
Oh, okay.
expose it, inject it into everybody who can handle it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, and then we'll all become immune to it. Then decontaminate the entire world, and then release them back into the wild. I feel like.
The closet people.
Yeah, the closet people.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that will be such an ideal an ideal way to eradicate the coronavirus if all else fails.
Okay, so the people that don't want to get contaminated get put into closets.
Yes.
And so everyone else that's willing to just, okay, give me the shot,
Yes.
let me get through this,
Mhm.
and I'll be on my way.
Mhm. Exactly.
That's not a bad plan.
All right. Well, what's your plan? What would you how would you do it? If you had
Well,
all the power, if you were the president, what would you do?
well, the action right now, I would not try to do this because you're people are gonna move around no matter what,
Yeah.
just because of fear. Like you can lock down your borders and stuff, but people want out. I can't get over the closet people. It's just hanging out in the closet,
Yeah.
freaking at you. Yeah, so then well, people are wanting to move around. They're just like that's what we do.
That's what humans are.
We got all this transportation.
Yeah.
We're gonna use it.
Mhm.
Um, which is basically just how this virus is getting around, and so I guess it's like the flu. I guess you could say. Well, it is. It's a lot like the flu, and the flu does have like it has a high death rate, kinda. More than the coronavirus.
Yeah, significantly higher. Flu has killed way more people.
Remember, just in this year it has.
Yeah.
And so no one worries about the flu as much day to day anymore because we have a vaccine. So I think I would put my effort towards the vaccine, just because once you have that idea that people get in their mind that okay, this thing right here, if I ever get this will just save my life. And with that comfort, I guess you could say, people will just stop worrying really, because the flu isn't as worried. I know I used to get the flu shot. Used to get that a lot when you're younger, just because your immune system is developing. But in recent years, I don't really care for it. I don't
The
want
flu?
it. The flu, yeah, no, I don't care about I don't care about contracting the flu, and I don't get the flu shot because I don't think I will contract the flu.
You're just that confident in
I'm
your
that confident in my
system.
immune system. So yeah, for me, it's just well, if you get it, stay home, get over it, and you're fine.
So like of course if you're president, would you also throw down for $40 billion in aid for people who do need that? Who need
The vaccine or just medical care in
medical
general?
care for coronavirus?
For corona. 40 billion.
I think that's man, I need to fact check myself, but
That's tacking on to the debt.
also yeah, where would we get that money from? Also, like one of the big questions for Bernie Sanders, where are you gonna get all that free college from, you know?
Yeah, just because, especially because the U.S. is really locking up right now, and people just even work is getting harder for people. Not everyone has the luxury of working on the internet and from home. So, yeah, they're just what happens then if we lock up like that, then our economy is just gonna drop because no one's gonna be working, and we're kind of just gonna be in a stalemate trying to run off of the money that we already have, which means there's no can't tax people, can't build money that way, can't rely on other. I mean, you could rely on other states or other countries, but they're already going through their own problems, trying to like build up money to try to help their people.
Yeah.
So it really just come down to if you are willing to go into that debt to help everyone, and if you're confident that your country will start running again. Basically, like during the Depression, the Great Depression, everything collapsed and everyone lost their jobs, and the U.S. was kind of just stuck
Mm-hmm.
until the war, and then
And then
FDR and just all the New Deal just started getting people kind of working again,
more confident in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, 2020 has just been. We're only
It's
3 months
been the
in.
year.
It's only been 3 months in, and we've gone through a lot of garbage.
it's the 2012 of the.
Yeah, it is. And people said 2019 was bad, but yeah, this is crazy.
It really makes you think what's coming up next.
Yeah. So like, on that note, like, how do you see the rest of 2020 going?
I would not be surprised. Well, I would think hopefully this Corona stuff blows over within the next month. I would think. But then you also have the election coming around, or not the election, but is it the election?
Yeah, 2020 elections are coming this November.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's probably going to be a big one, too. I don't see a reason with Trump leaving office. I think he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's not messing anything up in there, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge political person, but...
You know, I used to be pretty well adversed in the political space, but, you know, with all this school going around, I just...
lose track.
I lose track.
Like
politics are moving really fast, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I know like 3 candidates, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Just because of like ads on YouTube and stuff that keep popping up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's either Biden, what's his face, Bernie, and Trump. And then there's also that one woman.
Yeah,
I don't know if, dang, I don't know her name. I feel bad. Well, there's a possibility that she might win too.
I mean, yeah, there's always the possibility.
Yeah.
Of making it. Yeah, but I'm just.
Yeah, and the NBA this season's also canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Too. Yeah, I really don't know what's gonna happen at this point. Really, anything can happen.
Yeah, and schools being postponed too.
Yeah.
Like, how is that supposed to work? I don't know if.
And I feel sorry for seniors, cause
yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, if the coronavirus really takes that long,
yeah, they might graduate after summer.
Yeah, that must suck.
That just messes up the whole cycle with.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna be graduating high school, and during the time they're supposed to be getting ready to move into colleges.
Oh, what was that? Yeah, just keep going. I don't know why that's funny. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, what are you talking about?
I don't know. That took my whole.
E minor prelude just started playing because I forgot to erase that track, but
Yeah, we'll see if that stays in.
Yeah. Also, Disneyland is also canceled, and
yeah,
I don't think they'll be able to do their senior week.
Oh yeah, senior weeks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really sucks for them. Good thing ours is next year.
Yeah, thank goodness. Unless there's another
coronavirus
too.
Yeah. Coronavirus strikes back.
Just the dude that's playing us in Plague Inc. Right? Is just starts a new game just right away.
Yep, right away. He's like, I was close. I know what I did wrong.
Yeah. So yeah, we're about our halftime segment. So we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll see you later. And we're back.
All right.
So, before the segment, we talked about hockey.
Yes, we did.
And you mentioned that you do hockey on the regular.
Yeah,
Um,
most weekends, usually 2 practices a week, and
mm.
then you get a game or two on the weekends. Yeah,
So explain just your experience with hockey,
just hockey.
getting there, maybe what you do at practice,
Okay,
and how
well,
games go.
I'll start out with this. Hockey is, well, to me, yeah, it's the favorite sport, but I would also say it's probably one of the best sports.
Mm.
Probably could disagree with that, but
Why is
I
it
don't.
the best sport? Why is it better than, I don't know, basketball or
Well,
track?
you got knives on your feet,
Mm.
and
It sounds awesome.
you're on ice.
Yeah.
You ice skated before?
Yeah.
It's quite fun, I think. There's always this risk, I guess you can say. Just you gotta always be vigilant and look around. The game is super fast.
Mm.
And it just gets real exciting when you put a puck in the net.
Mhm.
And I think
Have you ever you scored, right?
I
Of
yes
course
I
you
score
scored.
on the regular.
You on the right.
On the regular.
So are you like the team player? Are you like the best or like are you reliable?
Not to boast, but I well, my season got canceled, so I
Mm.
did. I did lead our team in points, so take pride in that. I like to. I was the assistant captain, so uh, I like leading the group, especially when players aren't as talented as I am. I have a great build for sports, I think. Uh, Dad grew up in Alaska, so hockey
Mm.
was just like a must for our family, I guess. Besides my brother, which you've seen, he's 6'3".
Yeah,
He
he's huge.
doesn't fit on skates, so he plays football.
Mhm.
But yeah. So I think hockey just came naturally to me, and I appreciate the game so much that I like to see other people grow and love the game.
Mm. That's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's sentimental.
Yeah. So how's the team aspect? 'Cause you mentioned you like seeing people grow up.
Yeah, so hockey is actually a very like you have to rely on your teammates 100% of the time you are playing. There's 5 guys and a goalie for each side on the ice at a time. And yeah, you gotta look out for your teammates, and the only way to score. I mean, of course, you can try to be a one man show, skate down the ice every time, but most of the time that doesn't work. So you gotta pass the puck and just move your feet, and I think that really shows how much you have to rely on your teammates to just give you the
Mm.
puck when you think it's time.
Yeah. Like for me, I really suck at skating.
Hmm.
So I can't really imagine myself screwing up in something like that. Like, is there any instance in time or instance playing a game where you're just like, wow, he actually did that. Why did he do that? Did you ever get really mad at a player for screwing up?
Well, that's the thing with hockey is that yeah, you can get mad at them because sometimes they do dumb things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of dumb plays that I've seen people do that I was not quite happy with. But I had a very good coach. I plan on going back to play with them this summer. Shout out to Coach Rick.
All right, Coach Rick.
Coach Rick, yeah. And yeah, so basically he always told us that he would never get mad at us no matter how dumb the play that you just made was. But don't do nothing
Mm-hmm.
and don't beat yourself up about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to make a play, do it. If it was wrong, it was wrong. You learned.
Mm-hmm.
If it was wrong but it worked, it worked.
Mm.
And if yeah, so you just go with it.
Yeah.
Whatever happens happens. Don't try to be something that you're not really. Just if it happens, it happens.
Just go
Move
for
on.
it. Yeah. That's totally the same exact mindset cross country is.
Mm-hmm.
My coach shout out to new guy.
New guy. I
New
heard
guy.
about him.
Yeah.
Seen him a few times.
He last season was really a hard season for me
Mm-hmm.
because the training for me, it's been good training, solid training. I should be doing good in races,
Yeah.
but every time I just overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes and then most of the time I just completely just bomb that race.
Mm.
And new guy always just tells me, just just run your race. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't think about all the technicalities. Just do something. Just
And go out there.
go out there and just run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy that mindset actually. I think it should be used in almost every aspect of life because
Mhm.
you're gonna make mistakes. It's just
Yeah.
human nature. So don't sit there
And
and,
cry about
and
it
don't
like a
keep
baby.
looking back at it. Just go forward. Just
Mhm.
move on. So yeah, well, for me, I've been playing since I was in what, like fifth grade. It's been
Mhm.
7 years plus maybe for me playing
Mhm.
hockey, and I think it's just amazing that with me starting so late, because a lot of people would start more like a couple years before I did, and I think it's amazing that I still keep up with it. Like I just enjoy the game so much that I don't see myself stopping
Mhm.
after I leave high school.
Wow. So you see yourself playing for college?
Yes, that is one of my goals. Is I want to go to college, play hockey, learn computer science, like we were mentioning before, and yeah, that's just my life plan. And I don't think that should change. I think that's just what I enjoy. So that's what I want to do when I'm older.
Mm. That's really awesome. So like also like you also talk about how you guys are basically walking on knives.
Yeah.
So how like how dangerous is that? That sounds really scary.
Well, yeah, it is. But the sport itself is very dangerous because you just you don't realize when you're on ice. You've been playing for so long. You're the blades on your feet.
And you're also carrying a big blade in your hands. You could just whack someone with
Yeah,
the
that
sticks hurt.
happens frequently. Yeah,
Because when I play like street hockeys, I always all the time I always get hit in the shin with
shins. Oh
those.
yeah, shins hurt.
Mhm.
I do a lot. Yeah, and so yeah, you experience that from game to game. You get hurt basically.
Mhm.
Sometimes minor, sometimes larger. And what's cool about the hockey community is that you always like no matter what team you're on, you say like, "Oh, that's my bad. Like I didn't mean to hurt you."
Oh, okay.
Like, get
It's very
up.
friendly.
Yeah, it is. It's to a point
Mhm.
because when you're playing, it's not very friendly. But then if someone gets hurt, then that's when everyone's
Mhm.
like, okay, I get it. Like it's just a game.
Mhm.
Human safety comes first. But yeah, so the danger of the game is very real. Like you do those blades on your feet, even though they are razor sharp, but they're not like going to cut through you.
Mhm.
Because how a blade works is it's kind of flat in the middle,
Oh,
just the edges are sharp.
okay.
So what happens while you're skating is the ice kind of melts and you glide on top.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Cause for me, I heard several times. I don't know if this was from a movie. Pretty sure it's from like Final Destination, but I don't know. I just saw someone get their fingers chopped off.
um I'm sure there
Has
are.
ever happened?
I have not witnessed. I've seen people get cut with skates. I've been cut by a skate
Uh,
once. Um
describe that moment.
well, it was kind of upsetting for me cuz it was my own teammate that got me.
Oh.
Yeah, so just sitting on the bench, game's about to be over, getting a
Mm,
victory. I was like, okay, this was a good game. I feel like, and then you get hit in the arm by someone jumping over the boards,
mm,
and then you just got a red streak, and it just
yikes.
starts to leak, and you're like, all right,
Oh
that's
man.
that's not good. But yeah, but hockey, you just say, well, okay, I'm hurt, but I just got to keep playing.
Yeah.
And so with the fingers incident, I've heard of it. I've national television, I've seen someone's hand get stepped on. Their fingers did not
Oh,
pop off,
okay. Thank
but
God.
they were cut. There was two cases in the National Hockey League where someone's throat gets cut by a skate.
Oh, how does that happen? They just
Um,
like kick them in the face,
yeah,
kick their throat.
to an extent, that's what happens. It's just like it's so fast, and then people just
Mm,
get the because it's body contact's allowed. You can hit in the sport, which makes it so appealing to fans. Because when it's the only sport you can actually fight in it, and it's not
mm,
like an ejection. You just 5 minute penalty, you come back on.
mm,
So yeah, I think it's very very appealing for the fans that like to see gruesome things,
mm,
and it's just so exciting when you score. I guess because it's not. It's like interesting. It's a whole different thing from go from hitting and fighting to hey, you actually try to play the game
mm,
right and score.
mm.
And so, yeah, people getting kicked in the face, you just, or, yeah, well, someone did actually get kicked in the face about 2 weeks ago with the skate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to add on to that, if I'll take my track experience,
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten spiked in the legs because, well, when you're running a race, we wear spikes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like cleats where there's just big spikes, but they're
Yeah.
like just sharp
Sharp
little needles.
little needle spikes. Okay.
And yeah, and for me, I've gotten um, spiked in like the calf area.
The
So
calf.
there's this big, oh, whoops, there's just this big like, well, not big, but this is a little prick
Like
in
a hole.
a hole in your leg, and it's just bleeding, and you
Mm.
really don't realize it until you're done with the race,
Yeah.
and you just see a big gash of blood just running down your leg. I'm
How
like,
does,
oh, whoops,
how
does
does,
that
is
happen?
that by
That's just by
self
someone.
or someone else?
It's either by yourself, like I don't know, you're just running weird, or like someone just kicks you from behind or from front of you.
Okay.
And that's usually by accident. I really never encountered a moment where someone
Intentionally
intentionally wants to
hurt someone during
stab me in the
like a
leg.
race.
Yeah. But also does get pretty aggressive out there. Usually like
Yeah.
during the first well, I'll take the mile. Actually, I'll take cross country for example. Like
Mm.
usually the first 400 meters of the race, people are just shoving each other around.
Yeah.
People like me are really slow, so we
Mm.
usually don't get in front of the pack that
Early.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we just get stuck in the cluster, and then people are just shoving each other around.
Yeah.
I remember my experience. One kid, oh boy, uh, it was our
Memories.
home meet down
Mm-hmm.
at the school, and we
Valley
had to go
here.
through the gate, and the gate was only like you could only fit one person at a time.
Yeah.
That's stupid. I don't know why they designed the course that way to
Made it
make us
a
go through the
death
gate.
race.
It was. And you know how jank our gates are. There's like
Oh yeah.
little
They're
they're
not
not fixed.
they're not fixed. They're
And
kind of dangerous.
some kid's like jersey got stuck in the fence. So yeah, and then like a ton of kids just started passing them and just started like flopping about, and
Getting ragged all over
yeah,
the fence.
and I don't know, I passed them, but I heard that there's some weird conflict happened. Probably like some kid punched another kid or
Oh,
something back
okay.
there. But yeah, that was really insane. And usually, if we do something like that, we get disqualified.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever had any experience where you were just put in the penalty box?
Yeah, so actually I was so I had played for about 2 maybe 3 years before I actually joined any teams. Um just because you're starting out, you don't want to join such a fast-paced game without knowing how to skate and have your head up and stuff. So yeah, so it took me about 2 seasons to get my first penalty.
Mm.
And if you've ever watched Slapshot in the start
Mm-hmm.
with the guy and he's explaining how penalties work,
Mm.
it's quite funny. And then at the end he says, when you sit in there, he said, "You feel shame."
Mm.
And that line hit me very hard when it's a funny line in the movie, but it just you actually feel almost like remorse when you get a
Oh.
penalty, kind of.
Mm.
This feeling kind of fades as you get more, but The first one I got, I was trying to protect a teammate who had just got checked. I was like, okay, you kind of like murdered my friend there. I'm gonna come hit you too. And so then I hit him, and I get a penalty for it. And I'm like, okay, this is my first penalty, and I had to sit alone in this box for 2 minutes.
Oh,
And it's kind of
timeout.
yeah, timeout basically, and you're like, well, I don't like being in this box. I wanna play hockey.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that really defined that aspect of the game for me. But there's sometimes when, now that I look back on it, I think it was a deserved penalty. Like I I don't regret taking that penalty now. But sometimes there's penalties where you just like accidentally the hook or trip someone or something like that, and you get a penalty for it, and you're like, well, I kind of just screwed my team on that. And then yeah, those moments like that really either make or break you, because you have to try to come back from stuff like that. But yeah, hockey is actually, it's not much, it's very difficult to get thrown out or disqualified or whatever. Because like in the National Hockey League and a few levels below, you can fight and not get thrown out. But yeah, so only extreme measures will get you thrown out of games, I think. And I don't think I've been kicked out of a game, so no extreme experiences like that. But yeah, I've definitely seen it happen. Some teammates or even the other players on other teams. And I guess it's, to get thrown out, you kind of have to either lose your cool or just be kind of dumb.
Yeah, got it. All
So
right.
yeah,
So practice is what, twice a week, right?
twice a week.
And
Yeah.
what's your usual like agenda for practices?
For practices, so usually they're like Tuesday, Thursdays. They try not to conflict with your school schedule, because they know that sports should come after your education. So yeah, this year though they went Monday, Thursdays. So Monday, a lot of skating happens at hockey practice, I guess you could say. About a quarter of your time out there, you're skating. Just, you have to be able to skate well and fast and not get tired while you're out there, just to improve your chances to win. So yeah, most of it, a lot, or like I said, a quarter is probably skating. Then usually you got warm up drills. You want to make sure your goaltenders are not gonna like pull a groin or hurt themselves trying to warm up. So you always just kind of put a few pucks on them early, just let them warm up, get loose. Then we get into the battles basically. Just because hockey is a very physical sport, you just kind of, it's like you have to want the puck. You have to just fight to the nail to get that puck just for one shot that may or may not go in.
Yeah.
And so that is probably most of the rest of the practice. On some days, like Monday or something like that, you just battle in corners for pucks, and you try to get better every time. Another quote from my coach Rick, he says, when you practicing is not doing the stuff that you're good at. That's exercise. Practicing is doing things that you're not good at. And I think that's, he's pretty wise.
That is wise. That's
He's wise,
very
yes.
nice quote right there.
Yeah. And so I think that's basically what hockey is. You just work at stuff you're not good at, so that you're constantly learning, getting better, just to try to win the champion, I guess.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
So so you got to go all the way to
Anaheim. Yeah. Anaheim, Lakewood. Farthest I've gone, because for some tournaments you even go out of state. I went Nashville, Chicago.
Wow.
But I don't drive there, so
Yeah.
that's a flight.
But you just did get your driver's license though.
I did, yes.
So, how was that? How's the feeling of finally being able to
The
legally
free.
drive wherever you want?
Yeah, so I feel like as soon as I
You're so
took
lucky.
thing, you don't gotta worry about it no more. But the pictures are horrendous. Oh,
Oh, you should see my driver's.
I did. I saw.
Oh yeah.
Man, if this had that visual, man. Oh, yeah. So as soon as, because I was always kind of like almost jealous of other people. I want to be that cool friend that can drive
That is
everyone, get people
really cool.
food. I think yeah, give people food and stuff. Just the high school life, and then yeah. So I was real pressuring on my mom for this, and thank you, mom, for like I guess paying and taking me so I can get my license. Yeah, so basically from pressuring into doing my for the permit cuz I'm not 18 yet.
Mm.
So pressuring to do the permit, and that was a stressful day taking that permit test. I
Yeah,
studied
it
for like a
was.
week and a half before,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't miss any on it, so I guess it was worth it. I did guess on like 3 and I was
Mm-hmm.
surprised I didn't miss any. But yeah, so then that day was over. I got my permit. I was like, okay, this is basically halfway. I'm right here. And then those 6 months just kept, they just passed quite quickly actually. And then doing driving lessons with people until what is it? I got it, or I took my driving test on February 26th actually, not too long ago, and then
Goodness, oh, this pizza will not go down. I'm so sorry.
yeah, and so um basically the day before my test I was stressed and I wanted it to be over. I wanted to do it already
Yeah,
because like the
me
stress
too.
that was just building up over every day just got
Those
heavier and
driving
heavier.
schools really enforce, oh, you're gonna fail if you don't do
If you
this.
don't do this, yeah.
And they're right,
I
but
mean, yeah, they're right, but honestly, with my experience now, because I took that test,
mm,
and luckily I was one of the first ones there, so it was quite quick. But it was literally like maybe half an hour of me actually being in the driver's seat, and that includes waiting. Um, yeah, so I just pulled up. They checked all my, make sure the car is running good and nothing's broken on it. I had probably one of the scariest instructors, I think.
oh, what do you look like?
She, I mean, it was a she, I'm
Mm,
guessing maybe 30 years old.
mm,
Nothing wrong in appearance.
mm. Just her
She's
mannerisms.
just her, yeah, her
Her voice?
posture, not her voice,
Oh,
her posture. She's wearing sunglasses, which is
oh,
always like
mm.
I
Can't see
never
into their
can't see
eyes.
their eyes, don't know what expression they're making. And my
Oh my
football
god.
coach always wears sunglasses.
Hmm.
All I can see was the eyebrow moving, and I knew I was in trouble. So I'm not comfortable with the sunglasses, and then yeah, I just felt like she was staring into my soul the whole time, waiting for me to make that one mistake that would just end
Mm.
the whole thing.
She's just waiting. She wants that to happen. I bet it gives her like pleasure.
Pleasure, yes, satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then it was really not that long. Just drove down the street, um, came back, and I was like,
Mm.
okay. She said, pull back up in here, and I was like, okay. Yeah. It's
Mm.
like, it's over. What happened?
Mm.
And then she said, okay, you passed. Go
Nice.
inside, get your license.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't
Okay.
like.
I guess I'll get my
I
license.
guess I'll go get it. But like when I parked up, I was like, "Do you want me to put the emergency brake on?" And she said, "I
Oh.
don't care." And I was like, "You're a driving instructor. What do you mean you don't care?" So I was like, "Okay, I'm putting it on."
It'd be even funny if she just said, "Oh, you failed. Get back in the car."
Get back. Yeah. She said, "Oh, you failed. Give me back that test and get out of here." Saddest day of my life that happened. But yeah, no. So I put the parking brake on and went inside. Of course, mom was happy. I was like, "Yeah, cool." I got
Nice.
this license now, which I actually just got like this little paper
Mm-hmm.
for the temporary one, which I was not. I was like, oh, this is kind of
Mm.
skimpy.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so then finally, like last week, it came in the mail. So now I
Nice.
got the card.
Nice.
Yeah, just carry that around with me. Don't have much to do with my freedom now,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's just a huge like weight off my shoulders that
Nice.
feels
I'm
good.
I'm still waiting for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we're at 25 minutes. We'll begin our rapid fire
Rapid
questions.
fire, quick. Okay.
Send them off. Okay.
I don't know how fast they'll be, but
These are not the rapid
say
fire
it's rapid
questions.
fire.
Oh crap. They're not really rapid fire because I still gotta pull them up real quick.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
What's your favorite thing in your closet right now?
In my closet, ooh, I have clothes in my closet. I like my clothes.
You like clothes. What is the best piece of advice you've received?
Probably from Coach Rick. Yeah, just the practice one that I think I mentioned earlier. Just if you keep repeating what you're good at, you're just exercising your
Delicious pizza.
you're just exercising what you're good at. You're not
Yeah.
actually practicing. Practicing is doing something new and getting better. So yeah.
Alright. Do you have any pets?
Pets. Oh yes, 3
What are their names?
dogs. All dogs. Oh wait, actually that is 4.
Mm.
4 dogs. We got Riley, Peanut, Lucky, and Max.
What is your favorite movie ever?
Ooh, that's easy. 9.
9? Oh,
Yeah,
the
with
one
the-
by Tim Burton.
Yeah, but with the little
Oh yeah,
puppets. Yeah, I love that movie.
that was my childhood nightmare.
Oh.
I recently just gotten the courage after the 10-year anniversary of 9 because it came out in 2009,
Yeah,
and it was actually a really good movie.
I love that
Just
movie.
when I saw the trailer when I was 6, I was just totally traumatized from that.
Yeah.
I was like totally. Don't
Yeah, it
watch
was actually a real scary movie when you're younger, but now I'm like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
masterpiece.
And final question: dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate.
Of course.
It's just dark chocolate is too rich, too much.
Yeah, it's kind of bitter actually.
Yeah, it becomes bitter.
Yeah. So, do you want to make any plugs to your social media,
Plugs.
Instagram?
Yes. I never remember my Instagram, but it's the only thing I have that if you ever come into my DMs, I might not respond because I hardly ever respond to anyone.
Okay.
All right, but it's all lowercase. It's TIMAY_44. So Timay44, yeah.
All right, Tim. That is all we have for this week's podcast. If you're glad about this series, please share and support this podcast by coming back for next week's episode. You
Yeah.
can find me at NathanCD_ on Instagram and at Dillard on Twitter. This has been your weekly hetero episode with
Tim, yeah.
Timothy Wilkes. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
All right, goodbye.